Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, you did it, didn't you? Come on, be honest with us. You did it, didn't you? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you filled out an Amnesty Form 1 during the whole pistol brace brouhaha. That's right, didn't you? You got all freaked out. You were watching my videos. You were watching other people. You all thought that the end of the world was right around the corner and you needed to get your firearm with a detached stabilizing brace into the Amnesty Form 1 hopper, didn't you? And then all of a sudden the lawsuits started dropping, and then the injunctions started dropping, and then the death nails started getting pounded into the coffin of the pistol brace rule, and you still have an Amnesty Form 1 application. What are you going to do about it? Well, one of our viewers actually asked that exact question. We did a little research. Figured probably a lot of you may want to know the answer to this. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about how do I withdraw my Amnesty Form 1 application. Okay, hey, before we get going too far down the road, we are going down. You know, we tell you here all the time at Washington Gun Law, we're not going to tell you how to think. We're just going to give you all the stuff to think about. Well, does the news treat you the same way? And that's why I've been using Ground News, because in today's world of media bias and censorship, Ground News gives you the freedom to learn for yourself, attach your own weight to the facts, and come to your own conclusion. Wow, what a concept, huh? Here's how it works. Take today's story, for example. You start searching it out, and now, 1, you can see who the news source is and what is their political leaning. 2, you can learn who actually owns those individual news sources. 3, you can see the headline manipulation, so now you understand how the story is being distorted. And most importantly, 4, the biased distribution of each story. But then there's a lot more cool features, like Discover Plus, which is unlocked only with a Vantage plan. But here you can customize your own news feed to cover the topics that interest you the most, like, Second Amendment news. Then Ground News will populate your news feed based upon these settings. Here's the best news. Right now, you can get 40% off a Vantage plan by visiting ground.news/Washington. Listen, it's time that you break free from all the media bias and manipulation. It's time that you start being able to make up your own mind. It's time for the news to start treating you like an adult. For more information, visit my good friends at ground.news/Washington. Okay, America, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about all of you who put in an Amnesty Form 1 application to get your free tax stamp during the whole pistol brace brouhaha. Then the rule came to a screeching halt due to litigation, and your application's just floating out there somewhere in application purgatory. And at this point, you're reading the writing on the wall and you're just going, I don't think this pistol brace is going to be around much longer. I want to get my application out of the hopper. How do we do that? Now, not my idea. I tell you all the time, hey, listen, if you got video ideas, go ahead and click on that link right there. And yes, we do go through them, because this video idea was actually the idea of one of our viewers, Rod E. Rod, thank you very much for sending us this suggestion. This is the actual question that Rod posed to us. I saw you just did another video on pistol braces. However, there's an issue within the pistol brace debacle that I have yet to see anyone address. I applied to register my gun with ATF during the amnesty period when we could apply for our free tax stamp. While I was waiting, the ATF froze all applications due to ongoing litigation over pistol braces. Therefore, the ATF has had my application for well over a year and nothing is happening. I call the ATF every month and I am always told that all applications that were waiting to be processed were frozen and they will not be approved nor disapproved until the pistol brace litigation is completely over. I have asked if I can just pay for the tax stamp to get my application moving. I am told no. I ask if I can cancel my application and just start over. I am told no. Surely, there has to be thousands of individuals just like me that tried to get a tax stamp during the amnesty period whose paperwork is essentially in jail. I would appreciate it so much if you could address this issue. Thank you. Well, Rod, thank you very much, and I appreciate it. Now, I don't know who you're talking to at ATF, and of course, if you call them again today or tomorrow, you're probably going to get different answers depending on who you're talking to. What I did is I just went to the NFA handbook, okay? The NFA handbook is a handbook any of you can get. We're going to link it up down below so you guys can geek out on it for yourself, but it basically walks you through the process of how to fill out a Form 1 or a Form 4 application. And lo and behold, in the chapter about Form 1 applications, on page 39, are the following instructions about how you can withdraw a Form 1 application. The Form 1 applicant may withdraw the application by submitting a request in writing to the Chief NFA branch. Now, some of you may actually also have approved Form 1s already that you received in the amnesty period as well. And this rule speaks to that as well, because it goes on to state, the applicant may also cancel an approved Form 1 application by submitting a request in writing to the Chief NFA branch. The request for cancellation must state that the firearm was not made and must include the approved Form 1 with the stamp affixed. The NFA branch will amend the NFR-TR to reflect the withdrawal or cancellation of the application and arrange for the refund of the making tax. And of course, obviously, in this case, if you're all doing it under an amnesty registration, there was no money exchange. The rule also states, a request for cancellation may only be done if the firearm has not already been manufactured. If the firearm is made, the tax liability is incurred and the applicant cannot seek a cancellation. Okay, so the good news here is we're not dealing with a refund of money, because as we know, trying to choke money back out of the government is like throwing rocks at the moon. What we are dealing with here, though, are some Form 1 applications that were approved tax-free. And what it says is that you can withdraw it as long as the firearm was not made. Of course, this firearm was made. Does that mean you cannot withdraw it? We're going to do more research and we're going to look into it, but my gut instinct is this, okay? Yeah, the firearm was made, but the firearm has now been deemed by the courts not to be a short barrel rifle at all. And therefore, this firearm is not under the purview of the NFA and should be withdrawn from the National Firearms Act for the simple reason that it does not fall into the category of one of the federally regulated firearm platforms. But for the rest of you who are just stuck out there in application purgatory, like Rod E., yes, you absolutely, positively can submit in writing a request to withdraw that application. Now, I went digging around on the website, and the best information that I could find is that email address right there, nfafax@atf.gov. Now, listen, I want to pay really close attention to this process for those of you who decide to do it this way, okay? And I'm going to be paying attention to the comment section down there, because if you have experiences, I want to hear about them, or you can contact Washington Gun Law directly. So for those of you who merely just had an application and it was not approved, yes, if you want to get out of that hopper, go ahead and submit in writing a request to remove the item as an application under Form 1 to that email address right there. If you have an approved Form 1 already, you will also need to make that request and submit it to the same place right there. Now, this is going to get a little stickier, and that's why we're going to end up doing a follow-up video on it. Listen, if you guys got any other questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you should know how to get a hold of Washington Gun Law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information's right down there in the description box. Maybe you just want to subscribe to our newsletter. The information on how to do that is down below in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, America, let's remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay safe.